welcome to you as you join us on today's episode of Tax Matters. My name is Pearl Nameka and with me is
Chiamaka Ohawachi.
On the last episode of the program, we brought you the inaugural edition of the tax debate for Lagos secondary schools organized by the Society of Women in Taxation, SWEET, Lagos chapter. In that first installment, we played you excerpts from 8 of the 16 debaters on stage. You'll recall that the debate is fashioned along the lines of the national presidential debate in keeping with the mood of the moment and the dictates of the national tax policy, which places taxation at the center of the political well-being of the country.
In line with that, the topic of the debate was, how would you use taxation as a fiscal tool to develop the economy of the nation if you are made the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Now, let's get down to business.
Research has shown that Lagos State generates 34 billion naira every month as internally generated revenue. And further research has shown that 75% of this internally generated revenue comes from taxes. No wonder Lagos State is one of the fastest growing cities in Africa. Why? Because of taxation. As a matter of fact, it is an obvious fact that taxation is a fiscal tool to develop the economy. Why? Because all the social amenities that make our country look developed come from the taxes paid by you, the citizens. With the revenue generated from taxes, government is able to put in place good public goods that help to enhance the standard of living of the citizens. Just as it has been reported by various international organizations that a robust standard of living is a prerequisite for a nation to achieve any meaningful growth. Furthermore, taxation is used for general administrative purposes. It is used for the day-to-day running of the various ministries in the country. The administrative machinery of a country might collapse if there are enough funds if there are no funds to maintain it. And if the administrative machinery of a country collapse, then the economy of that country has collapsed. And if the economy of a country has collapsed, ladies and gentlemen, the whole nation has collapsed just because of insufficient funds. And taxation is the major tool to get the needed funds. To further buttress my point, taxation is used for stopping the importation of harmful goods, and it is also used to protect infant industries. By heavily taxing foreign harmful goods, the importers will become discouraged and subsequently stop importing these goods, thereby making way for local producers to gain more patronage and subsequently boost the economy of the nation. Moreover, I, as the president of this country, will confidently tell you that taxation has proven to be a fiscal tool in economic development through provision of employment. With the revenue generated from taxes, many public parastatals are put in place and the unemployed youth are put to good use in their various areas of specialization. And as we all know, a developed economy or a developed nation is one in which majority of the youth are all working and getting paid. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, taxation helps to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. When the rich are heavily taxed, the poor will gain from it. Why? Because they pay less and they enjoy the social services provided by these taxes.
Taxation is most constant, most enduring, and most reliable. All other sources of government revenue, like revenue from oil, other mineral resources, are not comparable to that of taxation, since it is not all nations of the world that are blessed with mineral resources in commercial quantity. Fellow countrymen and women, it is an open secret that taxation is a major fiscal tool to develop the economy of any nation. It serves as a major and reliable source of income to the government. It is natural that attempts will be made by some taxable adults to evade taxes, but it is therefore the duty of the government to plug all loopholes out in order to maximize tax collection. And let it be known that it is not only salary earners that should be targeted for tax collection, but every single taxable adult and all providers of goods and services. As the president of this great nation and a person in position of authority who knows the value of taxation as a means of generating revenue, necessary action should be taken to harness the tax potentials of the nation for optimal performance of the economy. Once this is achieved, the government will have the financial power to tackle the business of governance, provide infrastructural services, and improve the quality of the life of a citizen. Ladies and gentlemen, taxation can also be used to regulate inflationary measures in an economy. Whenever fiscal inflation threatens the nation's economy, nations have been known to use taxation as a control mechanism to stabilize the economy, and Nigeria won't be left out. Also, for a nation to develop economically, it needs to develop and grow its own local industries, rather than relying heavily on foreign industries. Taxation is therefore a major tool to use in protecting our local infant industries from being suffocated or strangulated by giants or more developed foreign competitors. For example, over the years, Nigeria has become a dumping ground for all kinds of textile materials. The situation is so bad today that Being the president of this great nation, I cover my eyes with shame as I see my Nigerians wear with pride second-hand clothing and fairly used material. The situation is so worse that Nigerians even wear second-hand underwears, and yet they complain of diseases and infection. Ladies and gentlemen, taxation can also be used to prevent importation of harmful goods and consumption of harmful products. It is a well-known fact that even in the face of threatening economic recession, consumption of harmful goods and products like tobacco and alcohol thrives. If the government remains passive, the country will become a nation of alcoholics, with our youth sinking into immorality and bankruptcy. Taxation is therefore the most effective way of controlling the nation, by taxing the product out of the reach of most consumers.
To begin, taxes are the lifeblood of the government. Nothing is possible without taxes. I will pump money from taxation to ensure the proper functioning of the government. I believe that if the government is able to work as a well-oiled machine and do what it's meant to do, then development will surely follow. I will increase taxation on harmful goods like cigarettes and alcohol and use the proceeds to do so many things to develop the nation. I will make healthcare free for all Nigerians. Furthermore, I will focus on education and into making public schools into more attainable, into better learning centers, because they are more attainable to the masses.
If I, Kemo Janiola, am made the president of this great country of ours, I would levy tax to control inflation in the country. In a situation where there's inflation in the country, I will tax away the excess income in the hands of the society, thereby reducing aggregate demand, and this will eventually bring the price spiral down in the society. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm made the president of Nigeria, I would use taxation to protect infant industries. So if I'm made the president of Nigeria, I would use taxation to promote healthy balance of payment. High rates of import duties will reduce the demand of imports, and therefore we also reduce the import bills of the country, and low export duty will encourage exportation, and this will help the country to gain foreign currency and also add value to the currency of Nigeria. In addition, ladies and gentlemen, I will use taxation to reduce the rate of unemployment in the society, whereby I will create very many organizations which will create job opportunities for the unemployed youth in the society to be employed. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, as the president of Nigeria, I will create social services for the people. I will use the tax to create amenities and basic things that will be needed for their convenient living, like good health centers, which will provide good health services, and free education for the people. Before I go, let me leave you with this. Taxation is the main source of any revenue for any government. No tax, no nation.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service FIRS calls on all corporate organizations operating in Nigeria to register for the purpose of payment of taxes and obtain a tax identification number TIN. All registered companies must obtain a tax identification number immediately from the nearest FIRS office. You can also collect and return tax registration forms from the Federal Inland Revenue Service Engagement and Enlightenment Tax Teams (FEAT) on compliance checks exercise in your area. A company which is yet to commence business after at least 6 months of incorporation must pay a pre-operational levy of 20,000 naira in the first year and 25,000 naira for subsequent years to obtain its tax clearance certificate (TCC). Note that filing and payment of VAT and withholding tax returns must be done on or before the 21st day of every month. Register for VAT. File all tax returns as and at when due. Be a responsible corporate citizen of Nigeria. It pays to pay your tax. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service.
Welcome back. We are sharing with you proceedings from the inaugural edition of the tax debate for Lagos secondary schools organized by the Society of Women in Taxation, SWEET, Lagos chapter.
Taxation is needed to generate revenue. Government levies tax on individuals to generate revenue to meet its expenditure. As the President of Nigeria, I will enforce tax laws that will compel the citizens to fulfill their civic responsibilities of paying their taxes. Taxation is needed to correct balance of payment deficits. Balance of payment deficits can be corrected by imposing tax on imported goods by making importation expensive and less will be imported. This will increase our gross domestic product, which is our locally produced goods, hereby developing the economy of the nation. Taxation is also needed to discourage the consumption of certain goods. Certain goods are harmful to the body, and as the President of Nigeria, I will impose heavy tax on such goods to discourage the consumption of such goods. Examples of such goods are cigarettes and alcohol. Taxation is also needed to protect infant industries. Infant industries are newly established industries, and to protect them from stiff competition, government imposes tax on their competitors. This will not only encourage survival of such industries, but it will also reduce the rate of unemployment and poverty in the nation and increase the standard of living of the citizens. Taxation helps to control inflation. During inflationary period, government increases the tax to reduce the disposable income. And during deflation, government decreases the tax to increase the disposable income. Also, taxation is needed to promote economic growth. When citizens pay their tax, it helps the government have revenue to meet its expenditure and the economy can grow.
Without taxation, there is no government. Without taxation, civil officials cannot be paid. Without taxation, the public schools cannot be well equipped. In my tenure, I implore the citizens of the nation to pay their taxes because it will be of great benefit to them, and the upcoming generation too should copy them and do the same. Thank you.
If I am made the president of Nigeria, I will first like to empower the youth, because we all know that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. If the youth are empowered in different areas and different sectors, the rates of criminal rates will reduce in our nation today. Secondly, I would like to promote free education in all states in Nigeria. Thirdly, I would like to promote low-income earners, like the farmers who are in the rural areas. Now, because right now we're all focusing our minds on petroleum and other things, but if we try to shift our focus to agriculture, in Nigeria we are all blessed with good agricultural products, but if we shift our mind from petroleum products to agricultural products, that would also help the economic activities of the nation. And also, I would like to adopt the system of pay as you earn, which is being used in the United States of America. That is, immediately before your salary gets to the worker, the government take the taxes from them, and with that, there's no way any citizen of that country, of that nation, will be able to escape paying their taxes.
Taxation is particularly important in water supply, electricity, and land allocation. Historically, my fellow Nigerians, the importance of taxation in Nigeria could be traced as far back as early 90s, even before the British administration was in northern Nigeria. The then Northerners paid taxes on agriculture and livestock products, taxes such as Zaka, Gada, Kindin, Karat, and Jangoli. All these were used to develop the economy of the colony. If I am to be made the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will use taxation as a fiscal policy to develop the educational standard of Nigeria. Edmund Batson said, and I quote, "If it is the duty of the state to educate, it is the duty of the state also to bear the burden of education, namely the taxation out of which education is provided." End of quote. Education could be one of the most deserving recipients of taxation. Government puts a lot of importance into the development of human capital, and education is central in this development. Money from taxes channeled to funding, furnishing, and maintaining of the public education system in Nigeria, in which I, Akife Abulasfe, is a benefactor of. Also, if I am to be made the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will use taxation as a fiscal tool to develop the health sector. Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority, NISA, in March 2018, invested $10 million to establish a world-class cancer treatment at the University of Lagos Teaching Hospital, and also $5 million each in the Aminu Kano University and the Federal Medical Center, Umuoya, to create modern diagnostic centers. These centers will be completed before the end of 2018. All this the federal government has been able to achieve with the aid of the tax paid by you and I. If I, Akefe Abolasife, is to be made the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will use taxation as a fiscal tool to develop the education sector, health, governance, to create job opportunities, to improve the agricultural system in Nigeria, to create job opportunities, to make the transport system more effective than it was before.
Oh, wow! Where are the politicians? You need to watch your backs. These ones are ready to take over. At the end of the first round, 8 finalists emerged, and they were made to slug it out to determine the winners.
The first position, Akibabala. Akinfenwa, second. Ebere Chidora, third. Olajide, fourth. Stephen Ironu, fifth. Abraham Tomisi, sixth. Aderoju, seventh. And last but not the least, Ikomode Ajoke, eighth.
Again, the format was that of the national presidential debate. This time, the debaters took turns to ask questions from co-debaters.
She's going to ask you a question in respect of this topic, and you will be required to answer, right? And you have just 2 minutes maximum to respond to that.
The minimum contribution stated by the IMF that a country's economy can get from taxation to the GDP is 15%. Why is it that over the past 10 years in Nigeria, it's been about 3% or so over the past 10 years every year? And how do you think we can correct that?
That is because the citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has failed to pay their tax, which has affected the gross domestic product. In May 2018, the federal government launched the federal government launched the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund under the management of the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, and this is created to develop the gross domestic products of Nigeria.
My question for you is, how can taxation improve healthy balance of payments?
The way taxation can improve healthy balance of payments in the country is when the rate of exportation to other countries is being equal to the rate of importation, like being 50-50. Because balance of payments simply means when the rate of importation and exportation is at the same rate. So I believe when the rate of exportation in Nigeria is at the same level with the rate of importation, that's where healthy balance of payments can improve Nigeria's economy. How can you use taxation to improve Nigeria's economy, the aspect of health?
I will improve the economy of Nigeria in the aspect of health. Give health service program that is build more hospitals, and I also enlighten the people how to take care of themselves, how to live in a healthy environment, how will they be able to maintain, have a healthy environment, and not be able to maintain their health. I also build more hospitals in case, and also employ specialized doctors that knows what they are doing, professional doctors that are able to handle cases, not going to another country for treatment. If you have specialized doctors, this will decrease the rate of death and also improve health in the country.
Can you please mention 4 types of taxation in Nigeria?
We have the pay as you earn tax, that's the pay tax. We have the customs tax for goods coming into Nigeria, that's the import tax. We have the value-added tax, which is the VAT, of course. And then we also have the export tax for goods leaving seaports.
What would you do about the division of taxes, like those that are getting more salary and those that are getting less salary?
Actually, as a president, I'll come up with policy
eventually, I will support the even distribution of taxes among the people, among the various areas of Nigeria. Now we have six geopolitical zones. I can establish 12 geopolitical zones for a precise, so that I can meet the need of the people in the grassroots level. Look at the south, where they vandalize this petroleum we are talking about. Look at the people that are living around the Delta area. We need to improve our economy. The people that are paying their taxes, we can impose the policy of paying as you earn. That is, the higher your amount you gain as income, that is the same way you pay. The taxes can be, the taxes rate can be up to like 25%, who knows? But we cannot impose taxes that you are of high standard and I'm of low standard, and you're paying the same taxes that we are paying. That is not right. We need to pay as we earn.
As the president, what can you do to stop Boko Haram and herdsmen in the country?
As the president of Nigeria, if I'm made president of Nigeria, I would use tax to equip security men, like the soldiers, that would defend the country against any invasion from Boko Haram or herdsmen. You use taxation to equip the security aspect of the country. Thank you.
What will you do to improve the economy in the economic sector, like tourism, transportation, health, and even defense, like the security, even electricity? Thank you.
As the president of Nigeria, I will use the tax to equip the security with ammunitions and equipment to be able to have the proper flow of security in the nation. And also in the agricultural aspect, I would equip them with farm implements that will help generate more food for the nation, and this will increase the standard of living. And also in the health aspect, I'll build more hospitals, equip them with laboratories and other instruments and facilities that they need to ensure good health in the nation. Thank you. My question is, please, what is economic infrastructure?
Economic infrastructure is just the same as social amenities, like good roads, adequate water supply, good electricity, pedestrian bridges.
All the contestants were decorated with medals by the initiator of SWEET and first female president of the CITN, who had words of commendation for them all.
I'm extremely proud of all of you. And you really cannot understand. I want to try and make you understand what I meant. At your age, I didn't know what taxation meant. And that's a fact. All right? It wasn't until I started working that I came into a tax world and then understood what anybody could be talking about when they say tax. So for you to have gotten all the knowledge that you researched into and you came out to confidently talk about, I'm extremely proud of you.
And then the announcement of winners.
The third position goes to Tonia Community Secondary School in Alagbado. And the winner for that school is Ebere Shidera. A round of applause for her.
On behalf of the Society of Women in Taxation, it is my honor and privilege to award you this trophy for the excellent performance in the debate.
On behalf of Society of Women in Taxation, I want to give this to the best of the best debaters today. Indeed, she gave a good account of herself. She displayed beautiful oratory skills. And we are in no contention here that indeed she is the best of the best today.
Stand up for the champions,
Viewers, we hope that having watched these young ones on stage, you are convinced like us that the future of Nigeria is bright.
Indeed, the future of Nigeria is assured. One only hopes that the politicians you're watching, and indeed that taxation will be given its due pride of place in the ongoing campaigns and in governance.
Thank you most sincerely for watching. Have a prosperous 2019.